specialise in helping clients with tax issues across Africa. Regan van Rooy is a boutique tax consulting firm. I'm going to talk today about Nigeria, not all of it, but about taxation. And those of you who've had business in Nigeria or contact with it will know the tax system has lots of problems, as have most countries, and has been needing significant reform for a long time. You may also know that there is now a process of extending that reform, which has been progressing at a slower pace for a while, but is now picking up. We've seen withholding tax regulations having significant changes from January this year. A specialist tax on banking profits that came in hopefully as a one-off, and now presentation of a large amount of legislation to the National Assembly, which has started considering it. So much so that the House of Representatives, the lower house, has now passed the legislation with some changes. And these laws are going to bring huge changes. Now, myself with ILEX, the law firm in Lagos, have presented 2 webinars recently. And those are available on the internet, or you can ask us about them, to give a high-level view of what the changes are and what the effect may be on people and companies in Nigeria. To give you a quick flavour, in this talk, they are huge changes. For companies, this could include control foreign company legislation, those subsidiaries of Nigerian companies that don't bring profits back to Nigeria, foreign companies managed out of Nigeria, which could now be subject to tax in Nigeria, clarity that foreign income, foreign capital gains are all taxable. Capital gains will be taxed at income tax rates, which is quite a big thing. We were hoping for a reduction in the company's income tax rate. That appears to have been stopped by the House of Reps. We'll see what goes on as that goes through the Senate. And that was one of the less helpful changes, perhaps. There'll be changes to VAT to change it into what is a recognisable value-added tax with credits for income tax. That was going to be funded by an increase in the rate. It appears the House of Reps have stopped the increase in rate, but appear to have left the conversion to a real income tax, real VAT rather, intact. So that's an interesting challenge, but that's a very welcome thing for business. I think it's important to concentrate on the conversion of the process, the conversion of the tax, really, rather than the rate increase, because it won't be the full amount, if anything, by the time you've granted input tax, and an extended range of 0 ratings to help protect the less well off. On individuals, we're seeing, again, huge changes, whether it's abolition of minimum tax on the low paid, through to a change in the basis for the exempt amount, so no longer percentage of income, but 800,000 naira per year flat. That means a change in tax rates, effective tax rates. At the moment, you can't pay more than 19.2% in income tax as an individual. Now it'll be 25%. So that's a fairly significant change, along with making it clear that foreign income will be taxed and foreign capital gains and various other changes. Now, what else is in there? There's an excise duty on use of parallel market to buy foreign exchange, limitations on deductions for foreign currency denominated expenses, a change in penalties, and many other things, really. The list goes on. But the interesting step now, I think, is to see what will happen through the legislative process. We've seen the House of Representatives having a go at passing the legislation with some changes. So it'll go to the Senate. That'll pass it with perhaps more changes. There'll be a reconciliation process, and then on to the President for assent. But it looks like it's building momentum, and we're expecting to see something passed by the middle of the year. And so this will bring huge changes, a lot of work to be done in adapting systems and adapting your affairs to the changes this will bring. So please reach out to us if you would like to discuss further. And we'll be putting out more information as we get hold of it on what is happening through the rest of the legislative process. Okay, I hope this is interesting, and cheerio.